Greetings, crafty friends. Welcome to another episode of Angela Shows You. Today we are going to be in the kitchen instead of in the craft room, and we are going to be making fudgy pumpkin bites. So it's getting to be the season of pumpkin everything, and so hopefully this will give you a little bit of a head start if you are looking for hopefully maybe a new recipe and something with the pumpkin flavor that many people wait all year for. And you know, it seems like it comes early and earlier every year. Here we are, the last day of August 2024, and we are already seeing pumpkin and cinnamon spice everything everywhere. So without further ado, we are going to get right started with our fudgy pumpkin bites. So in order to make these, and I will type out the recipe in the description, in addition to talking through what we're going to be using today. But we are going to be using, you need a mini muffin pan. So I have a silicone one here, but a metal one, you know, works just as fine too. You need pumpkin, of course. You need cocoa powder. We need vanilla. We need baking soda. We need oil. And of course, did I say this already? Of course, we need pumpkin, flour, sugar, and if you want, you can put chocolate chips in these. I have mini chocolate chips. I'm going to be putting mini chocolate chips in these, or you could also put in pecans and or walnuts as well. I am not going to make these with nuts. I have made them with nuts in the past. I like nuts, my husband doesn't, so I do like 50-50. I put the batter in some of the wells of the little mini muffins, and then I add in without nuts, and then I put some nuts in the batter, stir it up, and then I do a little bit more of the batter with nuts. For this recipe, this time when I'm making it, I have a friend who's injured. She broke her leg a couple weeks ago, so I'm actually going to be taking her some of these mini muffin bites. So I am not going to put nuts in them because I'm not sure if she likes nuts, and I don't want to ask her because I don't want her to wonder why I'm asking. So I'm going to just make these ones nut free, but feel free to add pecans and walnuts work the best in these. Macadamia nuts might be okay too. I don't know that I would necessarily add almonds. Part of the other reason I'm not adding nuts today is because I don't have any. I have almonds, that's it. And I don't want to add almonds because I just don't think that that would be right. But last time I made these, I did put walnuts and they were amazing. The recipe also suggests pecans, which I'm sure would be incredible as well. Okay, so I've got my mixing bowl. And the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to add, so I've got the oven already preheated to 350 degrees. It's, I usually like to turn the oven on as I'm getting the batter prepared so that as soon as it's ready, I can just toss it right in the oven. So these are going to bake at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. So the first thing that we need is flour. I lost my train of thought there, sorry. So we need 1 cup of flour. So I'm going to just scoop a cup. I've got a little bit of bonus in there too. I'm actually gonna move whoops. Okay, so 1 cup of flour. I'm going to lower this too so that you can see better what's going on. Okay, so 1 cup of flour. Flour makes such a mess. Put that out of the way. All right, and then we are also going to be needing our baking soda. We need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. One teaspoon of baking soda. We need sugar, 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Well, that's certainly cutting it close. 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Oh, I almost forgot. Salt is the other thing that we need, and we need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. There we go. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then we are going to just stir that together. Okay, and then in a separate bowl, we are going to mix together 1 cup of pumpkin, one cup of pumpkin. Make sure that it's pumpkin. Don't get the like the canned pumpkin pie mix. You want just solid pumpkin. So we've got 1 cup of pumpkin. And then we also need 1 egg. And then we need vanilla. We need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I got this at Costco. I think that's where I got it anyway. Nice big thing of vanilla, because not only do I bake a lot, but I also actually like adding a little bit of vanilla extract into like protein shakes. Just gives it a little extra flavor. And then the oil. And for the oil, we need 1/4 cup of oil. So 1/4 cup of oil. Wow, cutting that close too. All gone for the oil. And then you're gonna we're gonna stir that up. So here, so we're gonna give that a stir. Oops, you know what? Almost forgot about the cocoa powder. We need 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and the cocoa powder is going to go in the dry ingredients. It's like the most important ingredient in here to give them their fudgy flavor. Okay, so now we've got the wet stuff all mixed together. So remember, the wet stuff was an egg, the 1 cup of pumpkin, the oil, and the vanilla. Okay, so we've got that. Our dry mixture, the flour, the sugar, baking soda, and the cocoa. Okay. So then we're going to just go right ahead and we are going to put our wet mixture into the dry. And then we're going to give that a stir. And I'm just going, this is 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to put a helping of those in there. Give that a little bit of a mix once more. Okay, so there's what our batter looks like. And then we are going to get your muffin pan. And even though this is a silicone pan and things do tend to pop out pretty easy, I am going to just give the pan just a quick little spritz. Okay, and then I'm going to take my spoon that I was using, and we're just going to give a little bit of a dollop into our muffin wells. And of course, if you have a mixer, you can use a mixer to do these as well. It doesn't get overly thick, so it's not a lot of arm work to do it with a spoon or something. I didn't want to use the mixer just because I didn't want the noise while I was mixing this batter up. All right, so The recipe calls for making 36 bites. My little tin here holds 24. And normally, like the last couple times I've made these, I've just made the 24, and I just kind of loaded them up a little bit extra. So that's what we're doing here. I filled them all up, and then I'm going to just go back and top some of them off with a little bit extra until I use up all of my batter. And then rather than the 20-minute bake time that the recipe calls for, I'm going to do about 22 minutes, and then I'll check them and see how they're doing from there. I would say 22 to 24 minutes. All right, so there they are. Gonna go right ahead. We're gonna pop them into our preheated oven. For about 20 minutes, and I will see you back here when I am getting ready to take them out of the oven.